I remember my first memory that actually stayed. I was like, gosh, this is a crazy dream. What a crazy dream this is. I can tell you what I've been told. It was probably around 8 o'clock at night. I was going to meet a friend and his sister for dinner. I guess I left my house around 8. I went downtown. All the damage on the car was on the corner of the bumper, and all the damage on my bike was on the side. So I think we may have come around like this and merged into each other. Either way, bike hit the car. I flew 70 feet. The bike slid like 200 feet. You always hear, dress for the crash or whatever, and it's not a question of if you're gonna wreck, but when. And I was like, not me, I'll never have a wreck, I'll never crash. And then sure enough, it happened. And I'm definitely glad I was wearing like probably over $1,000 a gear. I broke my tibia, broke my clavicle, broke my sternum. I had separated my jaw from my skull. I had the orbital blowout fracture. I had 2 basal skull fractures. I ended up having 2 head bleeds, 1 subarachnoid and 1 subdural, which is like above and below like the skin of your brain. I guess there was some doubt as to whether or not I was gonna have like long-term effects at first, but I felt like pretty lucky to just be around at all. My commander found out. He was on vacation at the time with his family, and didn't matter, him in the shirt still took the appropriate action, notifying my family, right? Because I was in critical condition. Like nobody was sure whether or not I was gonna live or die at all. So like time was of the essence. The biggest thing that helped my recovery was definitely my family coming out, but then also my Air Force family, my friends in my squadron that helped support my mom, dad, brother, and sister during that process. In those times when my mom was alone, sitting in the hospital, sometimes in the evening, sometimes late at night, my commander or his wife would come to the hospital and sit with her and keep her company while she was alone. She loves the Air Force for that. Part of my physical recovery was my horse, Indy. I had had Indy for several years. She was patient enough to help me take baby steps to work back to where I could just ride her all through the mountains and through the desert and stuff again. I just remember something my little brother told me, who at some point grew into a wise man. He was like, yeah, in this whole recovery process, you just gotta focus on like the next thing, just the very next step. Nothing cosmic, When I was like still in the hospital and still on convalescent leave, I was just thinking about like, I hope I don't have any permanent repercussions from all this. I hope I can stay in the Air Force. Maybe one day I can fly again, but I'm still fighting that battle.